for 10%. So that will make turret diving a little bit more threatening here. I honestly had no idea. Heating up. With every hit, the beam gains 6 heat until 120 is reached. When the beam switches targets, heat is reset. I'm firing my lasers. Gains plus 0.0105% damage per point of heat, up to 125% extra damage. So obviously it just scales with more and more hits there. Nothing new there. But I think that's kind of... So turret's slow now, which is kind of interesting. Inner turrets. Inhibitor and Nexus turrets. Okay, probably should have noticed that. So they're not outer and inner turrets, but this is once you crack the inner walls of the base. That's where, you know, turret diving gets a little harder there. And those are the inner turrets, or not inner, sorry. Inhib and Nexus turrets are the only ones that have heat and shoot the lasers, I guess. Inner turrets here, shields for all inner turrets now have regenerating shields that affect both themselves and nearby allied champions. Additionally, all allied champions within 1100 range gain a growing shield over time, scaling to a maximum of 200 health. So I guess that gives you a little reason to turtle under your turret and just let enemies push into you, because you'll get that shield, whereas they probably won't have that shield. Protect that turret. The turret's shield stops regenerating once it has taken damage within, or if it has taken damage within 30 seconds. Never mind, I lied. So now you can't siege or turtle underneath it, because if it takes a hit, you won't get that shield stacking up. So I honestly don't know if you would want to get the shield and then shove into them so they don't get the shield. I'm gonna be interested to see how people are gonna play around with that. But that seems kind of confusing. It's like both ways. Inhib respawn time. It is 5 minutes instead of 4 minutes now. That just gives you a ton more map pressure, and inhibs mean a lot. You're going to be fighting over them now. It's going to be risky to let them go, because that's 2 waves of super minions there, so that's going to be a lot of time allocated for someone to clear those minions. I'll answer your other questions, guys, in chat after I'm done with this. I just want to bust through the whole patch notes here. So, turret and minion defense adjustments. Turrets no longer gain armor and magic resistance over time. Turret armor and magic resist has been standardized to 100 plus armor. Magic resist 50% damage reduction. Turret backdoor defenses, where if there's no minions there, they get 200 armor and MR with 75% damage reduction. So it's harder to just BD turrets. You're going to have minions there with you now, or else it's going to hurt. Outer turrets have 2k health, inner 2k, and then 2500 for Inhib and Nexus. I don't really recall what they used to be, so. Minions no longer gain armor and MR over time. Cannon minions no longer have base armor. All minion health gain over time has been increased to be roughly as durable as when they had resistances. So, same thing, they just don't really have resistances there. Alright, cannon minions. Cannons now start spawning every 2 waves at 20 minutes. Okay, I got you. So, instead of every 3 waves, which it used to be, once it hit 35 minutes, it used to be every other wave, and now that's going to start at 20 minutes. So it's just going to make shoving a lane out earlier on at like the 20-minute mark more... That's going to create more pressure on you, because you're going to have more sieges build up. So it'll make, causing that pressure on the map it's going to have to be dealt with a lot more, because it's going to be pushing harder, which is kind of cool. Cannon minions start spawning every wave at 35 now instead of every other. So again, the later the game goes on, the more crucial it is going to be for you to actually try and build up a wave and create pressure with that. So that's pretty awesome. I like that. So it's just gonna... I think that'll quicken the pace of games too, which I really like that. Baron spawns at 20 minutes though, so... Look out for that. No more cheese. I don't know if I agree with that or not. It's kind of weird. Baron. Excuse me. Baron rewards. Alright, killing Baron Nashor grants a buff called Hand of Baron instead of Exalted with Baron Nashor. Combat buffs. Grants up to 40 attack and ability powers, scaling with game time. New. Minion promote aura. Hand of Baron grants an aura that empowers nearby minions. All minions now match 90% of average movement speed of nearby champions up to 500. So it'll make them, obviously go faster so you can siege up with Baron. That helps with sieging a lot. And I know they actually really, really changed Baron because they hated the stats it gave. But resistant to slow effects doesn't really matter in my opinion. Non-super minions have 75% damage reduction versus AoE, damage over time, and persistent effects. That's kind of cool. So it just makes it harder to kill them. Melees gain 50% movement speed when they're in 80 units of enemy minions or turrets. Whatever, it's not too big, but it'll just make them hurry up a little bit to hit the turret. Size is increased. Their attack range is increased. That's pretty big. 75% damage reduction versus champions and minions. And 30% damage reduction versus turrets. So in a way, it's like a small banner of command that is, repositionable if everyone has Baron. So you could be doing this in 3 lanes and just buffing every minion to the point where it's almost like you have an inhib down. So Baron is now pretty key on sieging, but you need minions to do it. Instead of just giving you like the health regen and mana regen, it's making it so you have to utilize minions here. Ranged minions, they gain attacks, damage, and 50% missile speed and range. Cannons gain huge range, attack damage, but attack speed is halved. Attacks are now area of effect and do 2 times damage to turrets. Super minions, quarter of attack speed increase, 50% movement speed again when they're near a turret. Empowered recall. This is huge as well. Baron buff reduces recall by 4 seconds. So if I'm not crazy already, I don't remember if recall, I don't think it's 10 seconds. I think it's like 9 or 8, and I know you can take off a second in a spec as well, but that is like 5 or 4 seconds of a recall instead of 8. That's like almost 50% reduced on the recall. So you're going to have huge outplay potentials and like escape juke potentials if you have Baron and you get in a tight spot and you kind of find a fog of war spot for you to go back. So it's almost like having a teleport, but obviously it can get interrupted. So that is a huge kicker to get Baron buff there. Half of your back taken off there. And a successful recall heals 50% of champions' max health and mana, and it also increases their movement speed by 50% for 8 seconds. So it's almost like you have home guard boots without having home guard boots, which is ridiculous. So in a sense, for you not having the sieging stats of health regen and mana regen, so you can't like take turret shots and then heal it up the next wave, but now you can, do a turret dive or something like that, go back, have home guard boots, run back, and then do it again, be full health. So it's gonna slowly delay your siege potential, but I would think that hugely increases your defense potential. If you steal Baron, say you lose a couple inhibs, and then you get Baron somehow, your turtle potential just skyrocketed, like mad. So that's really cool. I like that change, in my opinion. Dragon rewards, I heard about this. This is crazy, in my opinion. There's some huge changes here. So you get a buff, a permanent stacking buff called Dragon Slayer every kill. 1 stack you gain 8% AD and ability power. 2 kills, it's 15% damage to minions and monsters. That really just helps the jungle kinda and your push speed. 3 stacks, 5% bonus move speed, which is a ton. 4, 15% increased damage to turret and buildings. That's huge. And 5, the max, which is repeatable apparently. Triples all other bonuses, and your attacks burn enemies for 150 true damage over 5 seconds. That lasts 3 minutes. So pretty much every time you kill it after 5, you get that buff again. But that is absolutely huge. Wait, 20 now. Did I misspeak? Oh, never mind. Someone else was getting corrected. Alright, that's huge. And it no longer gives global gold, but still awards experience and a small amount of gold to the Slayer. So pretty much, Dragon, I think, overall, you need to control it better. Early on, it's not terrible if you lose it because it doesn't give that global gold anymore. But the overall control of Dragon throughout the game is going to be huge because Dragon, that is a huge buff. That true damage as well. Once you think about it, 5 stacks, Dragon spawns, I don't know when it spawns, like 5 minutes or something. Maybe it's 3 minutes, I don't know. I never really looked into it. But, so it respawns every 6 minutes, so at least 30 minutes to get 5 stacks if you kill it 5 times. So you're thinking 30 plus minutes in the game and you get that 150 true damage on every attack for 3 minutes. 30 minutes on your AD, you're going to be pumping at least 2, 3, 4 items. And that's like almost having a free Bork on your AD carries. So that's going to make team fighting absolutely scary late game. If you can manage to get 5 dragons in a row though. So that is huge into scaling, but obviously it won't be as snowbally early on. But the better control you have throughout the game, it's going to be crazy. And experience Dragon grants to the killing team has been reduced 50%. So still not as snowbally, but later the game goes, that's absolutely disgusting. So gonna need management throughout the game on Dragon there. Crust of Cinders. While blue buff is pretty blah 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 blah, red buff blah 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 blah. Where is this? I don't understand. Healthy buffs. Crest of Cinders now heals its buffed target by 1% of their max health every 5 seconds. Do you get this on both buffs? Duration, it's reduced from 150 to 120 seconds. Burn passive. Oh, okay, this is the red buff. I never knew it was called Crest of Cinders. Honestly, I had no idea. So it doesn't last as long and the damage is reduced on the burn and the slow is reduced as well. I had no idea. TIL. That's what it's called. Now the blue buff, it just doesn't last as long. Nothing else has changed there though. Won't really read all this general stuff because nobody cares. This is cool though. The new mob they added in the river, it's called Rift Scuttler. And it respawns every 3 minutes, and it grants vision and a speed boost in front of either Dragon or Baron Pit for 1.25 minutes upon death. And Scuttle Crab always runs away, so it'll never attack you, so you won't take any damage from it, but it's like a mobile ward, and it gives you that speed boost, which is huge. So just another layer of, jungle that you have to worry about on both sides of the team there. That's a huge ward, so I don't think that can get cleared either. So that's huge as far as denial of vision goes. In late game, trying to bait a Baron, if someone's got that ward lasting for 75 seconds, it's going to be really hard to bait a Baron there potentially. Smite rewards. Now this is a huge change as well. You're going to have to make sure you smite the right thing because smiting different monsters grants different buffs now. So we'll go ahead and go over that. Krugs. Smiting the Krug. I don't even know what a Krug is. Is that the golems? Yeah, we'll call it the golem. Yeah, it has to be golems. Okay, so golems, or Krugs, grants Gift of Heavy Hands, stuns minions and monsters every 1st and 5th hit. Your 5th attack against a turret deals 50 plus 15 per level true damage, but consumes this buff. Lasts 90 seconds. So if you smite that, you get boom, extra turret damage, or every 1st and 5th hit stuns a minion, so that'll just help you clear the jungle or deal some extra damage to a turret. And raptors, aka old wraiths, now chickens as I'm going to call them, you get razor sharp, gives you a warning and a magical